This evening, armed teen gangs attacked teachers and students at Harmony Secondary School, sparking concerns over security measures. Fire caused by child playing with matches leaves 1 dead and 13 homeless in Agricola. Labour Minister orders investigation into fatal accident at BOSAI Minerals Group following the death of Neptrid Hercules. In the region, energy trade dispute. Mexican president promises energy independence, and internationally, Kenyan police fire tear gas, arrest opposition figures at protest. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, a terrifying incident occurred at Harmony Secondary School in Wisma-Linden when armed teenagers attacked teachers and students on the premises. The young men, allegedly gang members, reportedly entered the school armed with scissors, wood, and a knife, attacking a student who could not identify another student involved in a previous altercation with one of the alleged gang members. One staff member recounted that the student involved in the altercation went to gather his gang members, who then stormed past security and launched their attack in search of the other student. They ran into the school, ran past the security, and kicked open the door leading to the auditorium, hit a teacher in her face, and it started to bleed, said one teacher. In fear, other teachers locked themselves in a room. After an alarm was raised, police and officials from the Department of Education arrived to investigate the incident. However, this is not the first time such an attack has occurred, and teachers, in partnership with parents, took to the streets with placards to demand better security at the school. Commander of Region 10, Hugh Winters, confirmed that the matter is under investigation. In the meantime, parents and teachers are calling for better security measures to be put in place to ensure the safety of the students and staff at Harmony Secondary School. Teachers have vowed to strike until proper measures are implemented, emphasizing the severity of the issue. We now turn our attention to the tragedy that struck on Sunday at Lot 101 3rd Street, Agricola, East Bank, Demerara, as a fire caused by a child playing with matches left one person dead and 13 homeless. Kevin Trotman, a 45-year-old man who occupied the top floor of the two-storied wooden and concrete building owned by Narayan, perished in the blaze that destroyed the entire structure. The ground floor was occupied by a 42-year-old Marcia Cato and her family of 7 who were also left homeless. The fire quickly spread to a neighboring two-story building that a family of 4 occupied, destroying the building and its contents. The radiated heat also affected 2 other buildings, resulting in damaged home appliances, construction tools, and walls. Firefighters from Eccles, Central, and West Rheinfeld fire stations responded to the call to extinguish the fire. The Ghana Fire Service continues to remind citizens to exercise caution and follow safety measures to prevent home fires, especially with children. Additionally, children should be educated on the dangers of fire starters such as matches and lighters and warned about their use. Do not leave children unattended or at home without adult supervision. Keep children away from cooking areas and ensure matches and lighters are out of their reach at all times. Equip your homes with fire prevention and firefighting devices such as smoke detectors and fire extinguishers. These will aid in alerting people to a fire and putting it out quickly. In other news, 44-year-old Adrian Hetimaya and 20-year-old Daniel Persad were on Monday sentenced to 40 months imprisonment and fined approximately $63.4 million when they appeared at the Wim Magistrates Court charged with the offense of trafficking in narcotics. The duo appeared before Magistrate Rabindranath Singh and pleaded guilty to the charge of trafficking approximately 233 pounds of cannabis in 2022. The court heard that on November 6th, 2022, canoe officers, with support from the GDF Coast Guard, intercepted 2 vessels suspected of transporting cannabis along the coast of the number 47 village currently in Berbice. A search of the first vessel intercepted found Adrian Hetimaya and Daniel Persad on board in possession of the cannabis. They were arrested and taken to the canoe headquarters. Stick around when we return. Labour Minister orders investigation into fatal accident at BOSAI Minerals Group following the death of Neptrid Hercules, and over 200 persons trained in community advocate networking.
your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Hey, this is your fancy vehicle and it's your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You head more? You crazy? You mad? You head no good? Why you buy? Look, let me show you the light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
Alright, let me go and dash you your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Welcome back. The Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, has directed a formal investigation into the fatal accident at BOSAI Minerals Group that resulted in the death of Neptrid Hercules. The investigation will commence on March 27 and last for 6 weeks. The appointed team of investigators will determine the cause of the accident and make recommendations to prevent future accidents. The Labour Minister appointed 10 persons to the investigating team and met with them to brief them on the terms of reference and the Ministry's expectations for the investigation. The Minister is deeply concerned about the accident and wants to ensure no reoccurrences. Neptrid Hercules went missing in the early morning hours of Saturday, March 11, 2023, along with the CAT D90 dozer which he was operating at the time. This resulted from a failure experienced by the overburden dump where he was working in the East Montgomery mines, which caused them to be covered by the overburden material. The body of Hercules was found several days later after an extensive and painful search. In other news, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security through the Sexual Offences and Domestic Policy Unit, welcomed over 200 persons to the Community Advocates Network, ICANN, after a training series. The two-day training saw over 150 persons trained from Regions 4 and 5 across 2 batches at Duke Lodge, Kingston and Police Officers Training Center, and 58 volunteers from Region 9. The program ensured participants in-depth knowledge of the roles of the Community Advocates Network and the introduction to gender-based violence. The participants received training on the Child Care and Protection Agency services and counter-trafficking in persons unit. The new advocates also received training on conflict resolution and the Sexual Offences Act. Kimberly Amberts, who worked within the unit, explained the Community Advocates Network initiative has trained numerous individuals countrywide. These advocates have signed, sworn, and committed themselves to join the fight against domestic violence. She added that they are now equipped with the knowledge and skills to assist the ministry in eliminating violence from a grassroots level. This initiative is another way of letting victims and survivors of violence who are afraid to speak up know that help is available to live a violence-free life. On a different note, March 21st marks the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, a day designated by the United Nations to raise awareness about the harmful effects of racism and promote tolerance, equality, and justice worldwide. The theme for this year's observance is Youth Standing Up Against Racism, acknowledging the crucial role that young people play in challenging racial stereotypes and discrimination. It is a reminder that combating racism requires collective efforts across generations. Despite international efforts to promote human rights and equality, racial discrimination persists in various forms, affecting individuals and communities across the globe. Racial profiling, hate speech, police brutality, and systemic racism are examples of the pervasive nature of discrimination, which can have lasting physical, emotional, and psychological effects on its victims. Today, Minister of Home Affairs Rupert Ben emphasized the critical nature of respect, empathy, relationships, and engagements among our people regarding the crucial question of racism.
I would like to point out that Guyana is a multicultural, multi-ethnic country. We have different religions. We have the opportunity in Guyana to live a more evolved life compared to the experiences of other countries. And the most critical issue for the coming together and for the continuation of a Guyanese nationhood is the elimination of racial discrimination and racism.
As we mark this International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, let us reflect on how we can each play a role in creating a more just and equitable world free from discrimination and prejudice. Don't go away after the break. UK Member of Parliament's report on Met Police accuses officers of misogyny, racism, and Kenyan police fire tear gas, arrest opposition figures at protests.
Celebrity Pure Vegan Cuisine and Bar. When we say vegan, we speak about 100% vegan. No dairy products, no MSG. From the cheese, the butter, the milk, everything we use here, it's vegan. Our breakfast, some of the special we have for breakfast: porridge, fried plantain, we have boil and fried kadahar, boil and fried cassavas. We have soup of the day, which you all know. The main thing in that soup is the dry mushrooms as well as the bean curry. Young okra is a must with full ground food, split peas and everything up in that. Coconut milk is the main thing. Then we have the lunchtime. Some of the main dishes the people already is hitting on: the split peas cocoa rice, basmati and quinoa mix. A lot of people don't know what's that, but you come down here, you get it. It's a replacement of rice and a great substitute in the vegan business. Then we have dal, corn, okra and carrots, edo leaves, chanchi down in coconut milk. There's so many side dishes, but one of the special things is the chicken that we make right here. We make sweet and sour chicken, strip chicken, jerk chicken. All of that is in-house, made right in here from scratch. In the evening, you know everything is up. We also carry a large variety of organic and natural products. Some of the products that we have here is the yam. The that one is a very important product for the body. Proteins and everything to the max. We have the Corellia. This also is very good for the body. We have the Spirulina. Spirulina is very good for everyone, but men benefit a lot from that. After the Spirulina, we have the Maca powder. These are all organic and natural powders for the body, especially when you're getting up there in age. You use these things as supplements. Black seed oil. On the internet, it said the only thing the black seed oil don't cure is death. And there are many more products that we have there, full variety. We have the natural juices we also make. We have from like the sorrel juice, the pineapple juice, mauby, ginger beer. All these things make from the bark or the natural powder. We do not use concentrate in this cuisine at all. Everything we do it natural. Also at the Celebrity Pure Vegan Cuisine, we have a well-stocked bar. Some people choose to have a drink when they finish eating. We need to make sure that they're comfortable and happy when they're leaving this place. So we do our best to provide the services that we think is required. Remember, this place are fully AC and we cater for weddings, all occasions, birthday parties, anniversaries. So we set the place so that everyone can come, feel right and understand what's happening. Come right down to the Pure Vegan Cuisine and Bar, 198 Camp Street again, and you will find everything you need to live to be healthy.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. U.S. climate envoy John Kerry is visiting Mexico to look at ways the region can speed up the transition to clean energy. But Mexico's desire for energy independence is slowly progressing towards renewables and fueling a rift with U.S. gas and oil producers. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports.
Mexico's President Andrés Manuel López Obrador wants his country to be energy independent.
In the coming year, we will not purchase gasoline, diesel or other oil products abroad.
To fulfill his promise of energy self-sufficiency, President López Obrador has doubled down on investments in domestic oil and gas production, favoring the country's state-owned producers over foreign private enterprise when it comes to Mexico's energy sector. This protectionist energy policy, experts say, has come at the expense of a trade dispute between Mexico and its northern neighbors.
The problem is rooted in deals made under the free trade agreement between the US, Canada and Mexico, agreements specific to generating energy.
Critics say Mexico's energy policies have also slowed progress on renewable energy, undermining North American energy integration and competitiveness. For his part, Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has pledged that 35% of all energy consumed in Mexico will come from clean and renewable sources by the year 2024. Earlier this year, President López Obrador announced the launch of a $1.6 billion solar farm in the Sonoran Desert, the largest of its kind in Latin America. The president has also announced plans for 10 new industrial parks that will harness wind energy along Mexico's Trans-Isthmic corridor. While critics say President López Obrador's seemingly contradictory attitude, some have even called it doublespeak when it comes to fossil fuels and renewable energy, has put the country at an energy crossroads. Policy experts instead argue that pressure from the United States under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement, or USMCA, has forced Mexico to slowly open its doors to private investment.
All of these pressures on the private companies and the potential sanctions that could derive from all of this have led Mexico to change course.
Though current policies in Mexico have prioritized energy independence nationally, experts warn that it's critical for Mexico to look beyond its political disagreements with the U.S. and Canada for the sake of a more integrated North American energy market, one that can also meet the region's long-term goals for sustainability. Manuel Rapallo, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Internationally, a damning report by an independent member of Britain's House of Lords has found that London's Metropolitan Police Force is institutionally racist, sexist, and homophobic. Al Jazeera has more.
This report was born of a crime that shocked and sickened in equal measure. In March 2021, Sarah Everard was abducted, tortured, raped and killed by a serving officer in the Metropolitan Police. Wayne Couzens was jailed for life. That case prompted another woman to come forward, accusing another officer. David Carrick was convicted of more than 20 rapes of 12 victims, spanning 17 years. The Met's failure in its duty to vet officers and protect women and children, central to Louise Casey's findings.
Rather than see one person or a bad apple or a wrong un, what you should do in a situation like this is look at whether your entire system is copper-bottomed to root out the predators and not allow them in the first place.
In her report, she also finds that police protection for children and women is failing, saying an overworked, inexperienced workforce polices child protection, rape and serious sexual offences. Officers have to contend with overstuffed, dilapidated or broken fridges and freezers containing evidence including the rape kits of victims. She points to bullying, racism and sexism within the Specialist Firearms Unit and calls the Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Unit, where Cousins and Carrick both worked, a dark corner of the force. But the whole force, she said, was institutionally homophobic, misogynistic and racist. Taken as a whole, this report is entirely condemning of this organisation. It says the Metropolitan Police has lost public support and consent, needs to wake up and engage in comprehensive wholesale reform.
I accept her diagnosis about the racism, misogyny and homophobia in the organisation, and also that we have these systemic failings, management failings and cultural failings. I understand her use of the term institutional. It's not a term I use myself. I'm a practical police officer. I have to use language that's unambiguous and is apolitical.
Campaigners, though, are already worried that reforms won't go far enough.
The sad truth of the matter is that report after report into the Met Police, both in terms of individuals and their misconduct, as well as the institutions, sit on shelves and collect dust.
Louise Casey says her recommendations, from specialist sexual assault units to new systems for dealing with misconduct to bringing in external expertise, aren't to be picked from but to be implemented as a whole. Otherwise, she says, the force may need to be broken up. Harry Fawcett, Al Jazeera, London.
And finally, Kenyan police says a student was killed after officers opened fire during clashes with anti-government protesters, angry at the rising cost of living and fuel shortages. Al Jazeera's Katrina Soy reports.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga and his supporters in Nairobi trying to find their way to the city centre. Protesters were heading to the president's office and State House. They did not get far. This is a protest against the rising cost of basic commodities, inflation, taxes, and electoral reforms. In opposition areas like this one, police were prepared. They cordoned off all roads, but that did not stop the demonstrators. Several people were arrested, including politicians. The protesters are saying they will not give up until their demands are met. They're calling this a revolution.
Life is hard. The economy is doing badly. Basic commodity prices have skyrocketed. The president said he would reduce prices in the first 100 days, but he has not done much.
We gave President William Ruto the mandate to rule. We thought he will make things easier. We woke up early to go vote for him. Next time, I might not even bother to go vote.
Odinga says the protesters across the country will continue. He's organized similar ones over the years. In 2018, he organized demonstrations for months after a disputed election in 2017. That election was won by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenyatta yielded to opposition demands and made a political truce after it became difficult to run the government. Now the protesters and their leaders say this is not the end, and they won't stop until President William Ruto and his government listen to what they're saying. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Nairobi.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. This concludes today's Headline News Update. Tune in tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.